In this video, we break down one of the most unexpected political spectacles of the year, where a mysterious award, a viral moment, and sharp commentary collide. See how public perception, media narratives, and political messaging all intersect, and why this single event is capturing global attention. Stay tuned, because the details you're about to see reveal more than just an award. They show the power of accountability, evidence, and timing in shaping what millions believe. The moment was set against the backdrop of a highly anticipated ceremony that, on paper, should have been a routine public relations event. Donald Trump, clad in his signature dark suit, confidently stepped up to accept what he described as the prestigious FIFA Peace Prize. Cameras flashed. Reporters whispered among themselves, and the world watched in anticipation, though few could recall ever hearing about this particular award. It was in this strange intersection of spectacle and skepticism that Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett found her moment. From the very first second, Crockett's approach was surgical. She did not react with immediate shock, nor did she allow herself to be swept into the hysteria of the room. Instead, she contextualized the event with precision, laying out the absurdity of a medal that resembled nothing so much as a chocolate coin and questioning the credibility of a prize no global institution had ever acknowledged. Her tone was sharp but deliberate, each word carefully chosen to dissect the layers of PR manipulation behind the ceremony as Trump spoke of his supposed accomplishments, claiming he had settled 8 wars and ushered in an era of unprecedented peace. Crockett's live commentary interjected seamlessly. She highlighted the disconnect between grandiose claims and the visible record, exposing the theatrics behind every smiling photo and ceremonious handshake. Her observations were not merely reactive. They were analytical, turning an odd media moment into a case study in modern political spectacle. Audiences immediately noticed her use of timing and comedic rhythm, the pauses, the subtle inflections, and the way she contrasted the over-the-top self-congratulation with grounded facts created an irresistible tension. Social media erupted, clips of her commentary shared widely with captions emphasizing her humor and clarity. Within minutes, online platforms were abuzz with viewers quoting her sharpest lines and noting the stark contrast between her credibility and the surreal nature of the award ceremony. It wasn't just her words. It was the way she framed the narrative. By connecting the peculiarities of the FIFA Peace Prize to a broader pattern of ego-driven PR stunts, Crockett demonstrated a keen understanding of both media psychology and political strategy. Each observation was anchored in evidence: the obscure history of the award, the lack of verification from international bodies, and the improbable claims of conflict resolution, attributed solely to Trump. The result was an almost forensic deconstruction of an event that could have been dismissed as trivial, while commentators initially questioned whether such scrutiny was necessary for a seemingly light-hearted photo op. Crockett's delivery transformed it into a lesson in accountability. Her ability to marry humor with fact-driven critique resonated not only with political observers, but also with casual viewers, who found themselves laughing while simultaneously absorbing a critical perspective on public manipulation. This dual effect, entertaining yet educational, amplified the impact of her coverage. As the ceremony progressed, the audience observed the subtle shift in dynamics. Trump's usual confidence appeared slightly unsettled under Crockett's precise public dismantling of the narrative. Though he continued smiling for cameras, the disconnect between his statements and the public critique became increasingly visible. The power of live commentary in the age of instantaneous media circulation was evident. One voice, armed with preparation and wit, could challenge even the most orchestrated of public relations moments. By the time Crockett concluded her segment, viewers had witnessed a microcosm of modern political communication at work. The absurdity of the FIFA Peace Prize was no longer merely a quirky anecdote. It had become a viral teaching moment on perception, narrative control, and the interplay between spectacle and accountability. Analysts would later describe her approach as a masterclass in leveraging timing, evidence, and charisma to reclaim a narrative hijacked by self-promotion. The discussion extended beyond the live segment. News outlets replayed clips, dissecting her analysis and highlighting the precision with which she exposed inconsistencies. Social media metrics reflected rapid engagement, with users praising her for both humor and rigor. By blending comedic insight with meticulous fact-checking, Crockett created a model for handling situations that, on the surface, might appear trivial but held broader implications for political credibility. In sum, what could have been dismissed as a simple, quirky photo op became a defining moment in political commentary. Through a combination of timing, evidence, and sharp analysis, Jasmine Crockett turned an unusual ceremony into a viral case study in credibility, narrative control, and the power of live, precise commentary. The lesson was clear. Even the most bizarre political stunts can be deconstructed when approached with strategy, clarity, and the right touch of humor. The moment following the initial observations quickly intensified as the event unfolded. Jasmine Crockett's commentary, now live and circulating online, began to influence the perception of those watching. She wasn't just critiquing a bizarre award. She was dissecting the entire framework of political spectacle, exposing how even the most seemingly innocuous events could be engineered to shape public opinion. Every gesture, every line from Trump, and every awkward pause became fodder for analysis. Crockett highlighted the mechanics behind the ceremony. The FIFA Peace Prize was presented with a level of pageantry designed to impress without offering substance. She pointed out that no major media outlets had previously documented this award, questioning the legitimacy of both the organization presenting it and the claims being celebrated. Her approach was meticulous, examining not only the award itself, but the messaging surrounding it. By framing it as a media strategy disguised as an honor, she revealed how political figures often leverage symbolism to manufacture credibility. The subtle humor Crockett injected was deliberate, calibrated to underscore absurdity while maintaining authority. She juxtaposed Trump's claims of settling wars with verifiable records of ongoing conflicts, creating a stark contrast that was impossible to ignore. Her timing was flawless. The pauses she allowed between statements gave viewers space to process the dissonance, making her point land harder. Social media engagement skyrocketed as clips were shared, each highlighting her ability to turn an awkward spectacle into a compelling narrative lesson on political media literacy. Observers noted how Crockett's analysis transformed the dynamic of the event itself. What could have been a simple photo opportunity was now reframed as an object lesson in public relations manipulation. By anchoring her critique in evidence, she prevented the spectacle from being dismissed as mere eccentricity. Every coin-shaped medal, every exaggerated smile, every grandiose claim became a case study in messaging and perception. Viewers could see the gap between performance and reality in real time. Meanwhile, Trump's responses grew increasingly constrained. Despite maintaining his customary composure, the disconnect between his claims and the evidence Crockett presented was visible. Analysts later remarked on how quickly live scrutiny can alter the optics of a situation one prepared. Articulate voice can challenge even the most polished PR efforts. Crockett's observations were not just humorous. They were a master class in holding public figures accountable in real time, demonstrating the power of rapid die stare. Ruby Kiss, Wild D. Crease. Only Ruby Kiss has the luxurious texture that glides on maybe. My blights last you, and leaves a rich long last, Calouse, long last, my last, my, ls, my may, slest, bekissel gade. My lies, last, good pond, wide, quaid, with the way I, with sot, sabed, by no sled, bet place cad, my mason me set, get, by sit sequities kalik is adikis that atbsak resetic allied headstead, glad, that would precise commentary. The viral momentum of Crockett's critique extended beyond the immediate ceremony. Clips were replayed, dissected, and annotated by commentators across platforms. Her ability to blend fact-checking with timing and wit allowed viewers to grasp the absurdity of the situation while simultaneously understanding the mechanics behind it. In doing so, she created a multi-layered narrative, entertaining, educational, and revelatory all at once. By the midway point of the event, audience perception had shifted. What initially seemed like a superficial moment now carried implications for credibility, accountability, and media strategy. Crockett emphasized that while awards and ceremonies may appear ceremonial, they are often leveraged as tools for image control, and recognizing these patterns is essential for an informed public. Her approach highlighted the importance of scrutinizing not just the words of political figures, but the stagecraft and symbolism embedded in every action. Throughout the coverage, Crockett maintained a balance between sharp critique and accessibility. She refrained from hyperbole or personal attacks, focusing instead on tangible evidence and logical framing. This methodology reinforced her credibility and made her commentary resonate across diverse audiences. From political enthusiasts to casual viewers seeking clarity amidst the spectacle, by the end of the segment, it was evident that the event had become more about the lessons derived from it than the award itself. The combination of humor, timing, and factual analysis allowed Crockett to transform a curious media moment into a case study in political literacy. Viewers were not only entertained, but also educated on the subtleties of messaging, perception management, and the power of live commentary in shaping public opinion. The overarching takeaway was clear. Political stunts, no matter how bizarre, are vulnerable to precise, evidence-based analysis. By dissecting each element of the ceremony, from the award's origin to the claims it celebrated, Crockett demonstrated how scrutiny and preparation could cut through spectacle to reveal reality. The viral nature of her coverage reinforced the point that in the age of digital media, accountability could be immediate, widespread, and impossible to ignore. In conclusion, the ceremony that once seemed like a minor PR event evolved into a vivid illustration of political communication, media manipulation, and public scrutiny. Through deliberate timing, keen observation, and a mix of humor and rigor, Jasmine Crockett provided a blueprint for engaging critically with political spectacle, transforming the moment from absurdity into a lesson that reverberated across media channels worldwide as the discussion around the FIFA Peace Prize continued to circulate. The focus shifted from the absurdity of the ceremony itself to the broader implications of how political figures manipulate narratives for public consumption. Jasmine Crockett, now in the spotlight for her incisive commentary, dissected the mechanics of influence, showing viewers how perception is meticulously engineered in high-profile political moments. She emphasized that every staged smile, carefully chosen backdrop, and ceremonial prop plays a critical role in shaping audience understanding, often more than the actual substance of the event. Crockett drew attention to the subtle interplay between spectacle and messaging. Trump's claims of global achievement were accompanied by a visually impressive medal presentation. Yet her breakdown revealed glaring inconsistencies between the performance and reality. She highlighted timelines, cross-referenced public records, and examined the credibility of the awarding entity, making it impossible for casual observers to dismiss the situation as mere theatrics. This methodical approach underlined the power of evidence in real-time political analysis. demonstrating that a prepared and articulate voice can puncture even the most polished displays of self-aggrandizement. During the live segment, Crockett employed timing as a strategic tool. By pacing her commentary and allowing strategic pauses after key points, she created a rhythm that compelled viewers to absorb and reflect on each revelation. The effectiveness of this approach was evident in the reactions of those watching social media posts. Discussion threads and news commentary quickly reflected the growing consensus that her analysis had transformed what was initially perceived as an odd, ceremonial event into a study in media manipulation and political strategy. Analysts noted that Crockett's strategy relied heavily on clarity and precision. Unlike many commentators who rely on hyperbole to capture attention, she focused on presenting verifiable facts, which amplified the weight of her critique. Each observation about the award trumps claims, and the surrounding spectacle was anchored in evidence, creating a coherent narrative that exposed the incongruity between performance and truth. This approach not only educated viewers, but also elevated her credibility as a commentator capable of navigating complex political landscapes with authority. The segment further examined the broader media environment that allowed such spectacles to gain traction. Crockett highlighted the role of journalists, news outlets, and social media platforms in amplifying staged moments, often without adequate scrutiny. By dissecting the mechanics of amplification, she provided viewers with a framework to critically evaluate future political events, reinforcing the notion that context, source verification, and analytical depth are essential tools for understanding contemporary, media-driven politics. What made Crockett's commentary particularly impactful was her ability to weave humor with rigorous analysis. While pointing out absurdities, she maintained a tone of authority, ensuring that her critique was not dismissed as mere satire. By juxtaposing factual inconsistencies with subtle humor, she made complex political analysis accessible to a wide audience, demonstrating that insight and entertainment can coexist without undermining credibility. Observers also noted the real-time consequences of her commentary. Clips from the live segment were rapidly circulated, annotated, and shared across multiple platforms, each iteration emphasizing different facets of her analysis. The viral spread of the content underscored a critical lesson in the digital age. Strategic communication and meticulous evidence gathering can significantly shape public discourse. Crockett's methodical approach provided a template for how commentators and analysts can hold political figures accountable while engaging a broad audience. By mid-segment, the narrative had shifted entirely. The focus was no longer on the award itself, but on the dynamics of perception, management, and accountability. Crockett emphasized that political messaging is carefully curated, yet transparent scrutiny can reveal gaps, inconsistencies, and outright misrepresentations. Her ability to highlight these discrepancies in real time underscored the potency of informed commentary in shaping public understanding and ensuring that spectacle does not substitute for substance. The viral impact of Crockett's analysis extended beyond immediate reactions. Discussions on forums, podcasts, and news outlets began referencing her methodology, noting the blend of timing, evidence, and presentation that made her critique resonate widely. She effectively transformed a single ceremonial moment into a case study on political communication, demonstrating how preparation, precision, and critical thinking could turn the tables in moments that might otherwise be dismissed as trivial. Ultimately, Crockett's breakdown served as a reminder that even the most polished public performances are susceptible to scrutiny. By analyzing every aspect of the ceremony, from the legitimacy of the award to the alignment between claims and reality, she provided viewers with a nuanced understanding of media, messaging, and influence. The event, initially framed as a light-hearted spectacle, became a benchmark for critical political commentary, illustrating the enduring importance of context, evidence, and analytical rigor in shaping public discourse. As the segment concluded, the key takeaway was evident: informed analysis, delivered with precision and clarity, can transform even the most superficial political moment into a powerful lesson on accountability, media literacy, and the interplay between spectacle and substance. Crockett's work exemplified the impact of a well-prepared voice, capable of dissecting performance to uncover the deeper truths hidden beneath layers of orchestrated messaging. As the ceremony's immediate shockwaves continued to ripple online, Jasmine Crockett shifted her focus to the long-term implications of political stunts like the FIFA Peace Prize. She emphasized that moments designed purely for optics carry broader consequences. They shape public narratives, influence voter perception, and can even affect policymaker credibility. By analyzing not just the visual spectacle, but also the messaging strategies behind it, Crockett illustrated the mechanisms through which political figures attempt to control public discourse. Crockett dissected Trump's statements in real time, comparing each claim to verifiable facts. The contrast was stark. Where Trump projected grandeur and global influence, the reality told a different story. Crockett's analysis illuminated inconsistencies that might have gone unnoticed in a casual viewing. Each exaggeration, each carefully timed gesture, and each element of ceremony was examined under a critical lens. Viewers could see clearly how spectacle and substance often diverge in political media, reinforcing the necessity of careful scrutiny. Her commentary wasn't just about debunking claims. It was a lesson in media literacy. Crockett highlighted the importance of questioning sources, analyzing timing, and considering intent behind political messaging. She showed that even seemingly minor awards or symbolic gestures are orchestrated to convey authority and legitimacy, and that understanding the underlying strategy is essential to avoid being misled. Through her breakdown, viewers gained insight into the intricate choreography of political influence, learning to detect subtleties that are often invisible to untrained eyes. Throughout the segment, Crockett maintained a delicate balance between humor and authority. Her subtle jokes about the absurdity of the ceremony kept viewers engaged, while her evidence-backed explanations reinforced credibility. This dual approach amplified the impact of her commentary. By combining entertainment with rigorous analysis, she reached a wide audience without diluting the seriousness of the critique. Social media responded almost immediately with clips of her commentary shared, dissected, and praised for its clarity and wit. Crockett also examined the broader ecosystem that allowed such spectacles to gain traction. News outlets, social media platforms, and influencer commentary all played a role in amplifying the narrative. By showing how these forces interact, she provided a meta-analysis of political communication in the digital age. Viewers were able to understand not only the absurdity of the event, but also the systemic factors that allowed it to resonate with the public. The viral spread of her commentary demonstrated how a well-prepared and articulate analysis can turn the tables on even the most polished public relations efforts. By the midway point of the segment, it became clear that Crockett's critique was changing the conversation entirely. What could have been dismissed as a trivial award had now become a teaching moment in accountability, media literacy, and political strategy. Her insights extended beyond a single event. They provided a framework for analyzing future stunts, awards, and symbolic gestures with a critical eye. In essence, she turned spectacle into substance, entertainment into education. Crockett's final observations focused on the responsibility of public figures and media organizations. She emphasized that while humor and spectacle can engage audiences, they should not overshadow accountability and transparency. By meticulously documenting inconsistencies and providing context, She reinforced the principle that public statements and ceremonies must withstand scrutiny if they are to carry genuine legitimacy. Her analysis encouraged viewers to adopt a more critical approach toward political narratives, fostering a more informed and discerning public. As the segment drew to a close, Crockett reflected on the viral nature of her commentary. She noted that the speed with which the analysis circulated online illustrated the power of real-time scrutiny. Public figures who rely on optics and spectacle are increasingly vulnerable to immediate evaluation, and audiences are becoming more adept at distinguishing performance from reality. Crockett's work exemplified how preparation, timing, and evidence-based analysis can transform any media moment into a broader lesson in accountability. Ultimately, the ceremony that had initially seemed bizarre and trivial became a masterclass in political literacy through humor, precision, and relentless attention to detail. Jasmine Crockett demonstrated that even the most orchestrated stunts are subject to scrutiny. Viewers walked away not just entertained, but also educated on the mechanics of political messaging, the importance of evidence, and the influence of digital media in shaping perception. Her analysis underscored that in the modern political landscape, informed commentary can alter narratives, expose inconsistencies, and empower the public to see beyond spectacle. This comprehensive examination of the FIFA Peace Prize highlighted the enduring importance of critical thinking, media literacy, and accountability in contemporary politics. Crockett's commentary turned a single event into a blueprint for understanding and evaluating political messaging, leaving viewers with actionable insights that extend far beyond the viral clip itself. The moment, once fleeting, had become a defining example of the power of clear, evidence-based analysis in shaping public discourse.